Hi guys, I'm here with the first of two videos about organ systems. So we're going to study the different organ systems for A&P1 first, the ones we're going to study this semester, and then we're going to look at the organ systems you're going to study in A&P2 next semester. But of course, we're covering this material that's in this video in A&P1, so this certainly could be on your test. So just be ready for that. So I'm going to start sharing my screen with you now. Look a little weird for a moment. But once I bring up my PowerPoint show, we'll be ready to look at the different body systems. And we're going to be asking two questions for each organ system. We're going to ask, what are the organs of each system? So every organ system has certain organs that help it do its job. So we're going to find out which organs are in which system. And we're also going to find out what each body system does, like very generally, what's the function of the body systems. So in your lecture slides, you've got these two slides, which are very heavy in the details, but we're going to go through each organ system one by one. So let's start with one of the first systems we're going to meet in A&P1, which is the integumentary system. So integumentary system is one that most people have never heard of. They're like, what? Never heard of the integumentary system. But it's very easy. It's just the skin, hair, and nails. So these are the three parts of the integumentary system. So we're going to study the skin in A&P1, and we're going to learn about hair and nails as well. So what would be some functions of the skin? Well, one of the big functions of the skin would be to protect the body. The skin is like your outer wrapper, the coating that keeps all the nasty things that are out there in the world on the outside. So it's going to protect your body from all those invading pathogens. So that's going to be a big function of the integumentary system. So those are the organs, and then let's just kind of quickly list some functions. So one is going to be protect, keeping the nasty things outside. When you cut yourself, you want to put a Band-Aid on because you don't want bacteria to come in through that hole in your skin. So your skin protects you from all the nasty bacteria, viruses, fungi, pathogens that are out there in the world. But it also has some other interesting functions. It can make vitamin D. So this is something that a lot of people don't know. When the sun shines on your skin, it can make vitamin D for you. And we're going to see when we study bones that vitamin D is extremely important for strong and healthy bones. Now, another big function of the skin is to keep your body temperature in the correct range. So I'll put body temperature regulation. When you get too hot, what does your skin start doing? It starts to sweat. And when you sweat, it actually cools your body down. Likewise, when you get too cold, your skin starts to shiver. That actually warms your body up. So skin is really important for the regulation of body temperature. And of course, there are all kinds of receptors in your skin. You've got receptors for hot, cold, pressure, pain, and touch. Your skin is very sensitive and can pick up lots of details about the outside world. So that's our integumentary system, the skin, and we're going to study that in A&P1. Now, we're also going to spend a lot of time in A&P1 studying the skeletal system. So again, the skeletal system has lots of organs that are associated with it. Of course, bones, that's easy to remember. But there's also cartilage. Cartilage covers the ends of the bones and helps protect the ends of the bones. There are tendons. Tendons tie muscles onto bones. There are ligaments. Ligaments tie bone onto bone. And there are also all your joints. So the joints are actually classified as organs themselves. So the skeletal system has lots of different things involved with it: bones, cartilage, tendons, ligaments, and joints. We're going to learn all about those in A&P1. So what is the function of your skeletal system? Again, big function is protection. Why does your brain, or what keeps your brain safe inside your head? Your skull, that bony skull, excuse me, that's all around your brain protects it. What keeps your heart and your lungs safe? The ribs that are wrapped all around keeps your lungs and your heart safe. So bones are really important for protection. Then also the muscles use bones as levers. So when the muscles are working, they need something to pull on. So they actually use bones as levers. A third really important function of bone is to make blood cells. So all blood cells, red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, they're all made by bone marrow, which is inside bones. So making blood cells is a very important function of your skeletal system. So those are some big functions of the skeletal system. Now, next up, muscular system. So of course, every muscle, every skeletal muscle is in the muscular system. And we're going to learn about 77 muscles in humans, and we're going to look at them in cats too if you're in the lab. So we're going to learn the names of a lot of skeletal muscles, but there are also two other types of muscles. There's also cardiac muscle and there's smooth muscle. Cardiac muscle is a special type of muscle that's found in the heart. Smooth muscle is a special type of muscle that's found in bags and tubes around the body. So for example, your stomach is made of smooth muscle. Your bladder is made of smooth muscle. Your digestive system tubing is made of smooth muscle. Your blood vessels are made of smooth muscle. So there's actually three types of muscle. So we're going to learn about all three types of muscle, and you're going to learn a lot more about cardiac muscle in A&P2, but I'm going to show you some basic things about it in A&P1. So what are the functions of muscle? Pretty much move the body. So any movement you make is caused by a muscle. But you can also put on here, move things around the body. Because like I said, your digestive system, your blood vessels, they're made of smooth muscle. So moving the body itself or moving things around inside the body, they're functions of the muscular system. And then another thing is when you start to work out, when you start to move your muscles, what happens to your body temperature? As muscles work, they generate heat. So whenever you work your muscles, you generate heat, and that's what keeps your body warm. It keeps your body at the right temperature. So if you're ever cold, if you start jumping up and down, you're going to warm up because your muscles are going to be working, and that's going to generate heat. Okay, our last system we're going to study in A&P1 is the nervous system. So again, we've got a couple of organs here. We've got our brain, our spinal cord, and all the nerves that carry messages to and from the brain and spinal cord. So here's the brain, here's the spinal cord, and there are all the nerves going out to all the muscles and picking up data from the skin and bringing it back into brain. So the nervous system is the control center for the body pretty much. So it acts as a control center. And another important thing about the nervous system is that it sends electrical signals. So nerves communicate using electricity. They send electrical signals. That's how messages can get through your nervous system so fast. They're electrical signals, little zaps of electricity that are coming through the system. So your nervous system sends really fast electrical signals. I'll put fast here, and it can control the body. Now, also your nervous system is able to sense changes. So we'll put down sense changes, and it can sense changes in the inside world of your body, the internal environment of your body. Like if you have eaten some bad food, you start to get stomach cramps. So your pain neurons in your stomach are sensing that something is not quite right. So you can sense changes in your internal environment with your nervous system, but you can also sense changes with your external environment with your nervous system. So the hot, cold, pressure, pain receptors that are in your skin, they're sending messages, electrical signals back to the brain about what's going on in the outside world. So these are all the systems that we're going to study in A&P1. So we're going to get through all of those systems in detail during A&P1. So I'm just going to come back to the original screen here. And then our second video that we're going to do, I'm going to be looking at the systems you're going to cover in A&P2. But remember, for A&P1 exams, you need to know the names of the organ systems, which organs are in which system, and the basic functions of each system. So that will be on your A&P1 exam. So it's important to watch the next video so you can get that information. It will be on the test.